those of you that have followed the show, you know Beck and I have talked about gator hunting for a couple of years now. We've talked about gator hunting. This is an incredible story. Our friends from Texas, Matt and Stacie Tarr, they were able to experience a hunt of a lifetime. Yes, it was a gator hunt like no other. Now, here's where it gets a little different. Now, Matt is a professional barrelman in the PRCA, in the Pro Rodeo Cowboys Association. Fantastic to work with, by the way. But this one has nothing to do about rodeo. This one is all about the gator hunt. And I got to be honest, Beck, I told you this is one of the neatest interviews that I have ever done in terms of it being interesting. I mean, fascinating, and all I'm going to say is I am sold. So, Matt, thanks for joining us with this. Let's get a little backstory on this hunt.
I ran a hunting business back in Wyoming, long time, I mean, right out of high school. I had a guy that worked with me from South Carolina. He guided with me, and we've always talked about going gator hunting, and he puts me in every year, but that season falls in September, and we're still rodeoing. So it's hard to give up what pays the bills to go spend money. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And we had 5 weeks in Florida this year, and I'd talked to tons of people down there about going and doing it. And we were driving into Moorhaven, Florida for the Chalanicka Ranch Rodeo, which if you ever get a chance to check that deal out, go ahead and do it, because it's wild. It's a party. But there was a sign right outside of town that said Gator Hunts. So I got there and we got pulled in and talked to John and Scott, the guy that hired us. And so, what's the deal with the gator hunt sign? And he started laughing. He said, "Don't worry about that guy." He said, "But they got the best guy in Florida. He's on the board. I'll hook you guys up." So sure enough, we went over and met him, and he's like, "Man, if you guys can hang out for a couple of days afterward, we'll go gator hunting." I said, "You got to be kidding me." He said, "No, I got tag. I'll take you." I said, "Well, heck yeah, we're in." So we stayed until I think 2 days after, and he called and he said, "Hey, you ready to go?" I said, "Yes, sir." So me and Stacie and Bransen and Memphis all loaded up in the truck, met him at his house. And I think for lack of a better term, he's kind of the nuisance gator guy in the area.
Mm-hmm.
He's an outfitter. He outfits turkeys, pigs, gators, and he's born and raised down there. And he has, I can't remember the exact number, but somewhere close to 300,000 acres down there that he can hunt. And it's all sugarcane fields, and all those sugarcane fields have canals that run down them. Northwest, east, south. I mean, there's water everywhere. And we drove around, and if we saw one, we saw 50 gators that day in 4 hours. It was unbelievable. He was really cool where he took the time to teach us something about it, and like measuring tracks and measuring slides. And now I know that if you come up on a gator track, you can measure from the tip of the claw on the back foot to the back of the heel, and that'll pretty much tell you how long they are. It's just truly a blessing is what it was. I mean, the guy is one of the neatest humans you'll ever meet. Just super down to earth, super good guy. Him and his whole family, and that whole area is just the small town feel,
What did you use to harvest your gator? Because when Beck and I looked into it and looked at different areas, we looked at Louisiana, we looked at Florida, we looked at different places, and depending upon the guiding service, you could use a firearm, you could use different types of weapons to harvest said gator. What did you use?
We used a 308.
Oh, gotcha.
He had a gun.
And you ended up, so I alluded to this, it measured just a tick under 11 feet. Was that right?
Yeah. He was 10'8". He was 10 foot 8 inches. And Bransen shot one that was 8'3". And I thought that was big. So
how do you measure those? From Ruta to Tuta? Is that pretty much?
Yeah, from tip to tip. He just ran a tape measure down it. And from tip to tip, it was 10 foot 8. And I mean, it was unbelievable just how big they are. I had no idea. I mean, you see them in the, you can go to Gatorland or your places like that and you see them, right? But to see one of those things up close, he said, they're like snakes. He said, stay away from their mouth. It doesn't matter. I mean, for a long time after they're shot, they can bite you. You can't hold it from shutting, but you can hold it closed.
Gotcha.
Is what he told me. we got back to his place probably an hour and a half after I shot mine, and he dropped the tailgate and went to pull him back in the truck bed, and that one of mine hit him. And when I say flung him, this is a 6'3", 6'4", 280-pound man, and flung him like he was nothing. An hour and a half after he'd been shot. The power in those things are unbelievable.
Folks, we are not done with this story yet. We have part 2 coming up right after the break. You're listening to The Ben Show. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to The Ben Show. Our friends Matt and Stacie Tarr and their family had the opportunity of a lifetime by going gator hunting in Florida.
Now, you've been in a lot of different hunting scenarios,
Right.
both with firearms and archery. And I mean, you've
Right.
guided, you're very knowledgeable, a number of different species that you've harvested yourself or helped harvest.
Right.
So what was it like when all of a sudden you are either, and I don't know, were you in a boat or the truck or what, of when you spotted this gator and you were looking and you looked at your son and you kind of said, this is a really big lizard. I mean, I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, did it kind of give you the willies a little bit, even though you've been in snake country and all of that, but didn't you just kind of look at it and say, all right, here, I've got my son Bransen with me, and this is a monster lizard.
Right. It was cool because we got to watch 3 hours of watching them and like how they act. And the one I killed, we came up on him about an hour before he was off in the water, and Justin, the owner of Gator Glades, he'd called him. He'd made a baby gator sound with his mouth. And this dude, I mean, he traveled 15, 20 feet right to the bank, not 20 feet from us. And there's not a ripple in the water. There's not a bubble. There's nothing. He just glides up there like nothing.
So did you do something involuntary and messy when he did that?
Man, I'm telling you, I'm like, I've got a whole new respect for this deal. Because, I mean, for something that's 11 foot long and weighs 600-700 pounds to not make a ripple in the water. When your finger touches the top of the water, it ripples. And this thing's 600-700 pounds and didn't even didn't move the water at all. To slide up on you like that, it's a whole new meaning to eerie.
So if you had the opportunity to do this again, would you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'd been talking about it for 20 years, and never had the opportunity to even be around it. Just wanted to go do it. And I told Justin on the way back, I said, well, the bucket list is getting thrown out the window now, because that was one of the coolest things I've ever done. Just to see the different terrain and how they are. I mean, I guess not being around them ever, and they're just prehistoric. When you put your hands on them, and I'm 6 foot, I'm a grown man, and my hand is half the size of his foot. The size of these things they're just incredible animals.
And where Beck and I ran into the scheduling conflict was that very thing of the particular season when we could get down there. It was still in the busy time of year. We're still rodeoing at that time. We're starting to think about shipping calves and all of those types of things. It just didn't work in. Case in point, we never did really celebrate my milestone birthday. So so you're recommending do this.
I got you the guy now, and that's the cool thing about it is. And I was talking to him, and I was like, usually I can't go. I mean, he said, no, and their seasons, like their public land seasons and all that, are around the same time. But him being that nuisance guy and having all that private land and having to keep those numbers down when they issue him all them tags, it makes it to where guys like us can, I mean, he sent me 2 videos yesterday of 2 gators he killed. It's easier different times of year, and it's harder different times of year, just like everything, but he can take you whenever. That's the cool part about it. You can go anytime he's got a tag. It makes it really easy for guys like us that our scheduling, we miss out on birthdays and weddings and holidays and all of that stuff. You miss out on a lot of hunting. And here, this guy's he's got a good opportunity and an awesome price point to where it works out.
Okay. Bransen's gator was like 8.2 or 8.3, kind of right in there. Yours was just a tick under 11 foot. Did you get both of these gators stuffed, or did you just get yours or just Branson's? That's the first question. And then where did Stacie allow this to be put in your house, or is it in the shop?
So my wife, God bless her, she understands that I'm half caveman and I like seeing dead things, So we took Branson's, we took him to the processor there in just down the road. We got everything processed. I think my meat should be showing up here anytime, but I think off of mine alone, we got like 75 pounds of meat off of that thing. The more I was around them, the more I learned how much weight comes from their head and how much from that skin. Those scales and scoots on the back of that gator are massive. I brought Branson's head home with us, and I boiled it out in European, mounted it for him for his birthday. So me and him got to do that, and that was pretty cool. And then Stacie actually, she wanted to get mine mounted, and she picked out the mount and everything that she wanted, and she's going to have it on the bar here at the house. So that we'll pick that up sometime next year.
That is awesome. That is an incredible story. All right. So I hope Beck was listening to this.
Man, it was, hey, I'm telling you, I got the guy. He's very, very knowledgeable and easy, and he has gators upon gators, man. I mean, we saw so many gators and just didn't even scratch the surface of the amount of land that this gentleman has to hunt. Down there they have, and I don't remember the name of the tag, but there's a tag that out-of-staters can buy to hunt with him. There's a bunch of different tags, but I don't remember the name of this one. It was all 100% legal. It was like a $50 tag or something like that I had to buy to hunt with him. And man, it was awesome. He made it to where I could bring my whole family. Right. So Memphis, Stacie, Bransen, everybody. He was big on the whole family. He wanted the kids there. He wanted the kids outdoors.
Where does this rank in all of your hunting experiences? Is this the number one so far?
For me, as far as what I have harvested myself, absolutely. And it is easy top 3 coolest hunts I've ever been on, period. I guess it's almost not fair because I put it on such a pedestal for such a long time as an unreachable thing. I mean, 20 years trying to get this done, you kind of, it'll never happen. You know what I mean? I was a fish out of water. I couldn't see them things for love or money. When they're in that water or they're up against them banks, I couldn't see them. But I can sit 2 miles away and glass mule deer all day long, or glass sheep. I mean, it was a humbling experience. Just everything about it, the people, the opportunity to have my entire family with me. And I could have gone home. Branson shot his first. I could have gone home after that, to have the opportunity to take your 14-year-old son and go do something like that is just beyond measure. For what I've ever hunted myself, absolutely the tip of the sword.
Now, if this doesn't convince you to book plane tickets and head to Florida to go gator hunting, nothing will. Was this not the most amazing story? And you've got the pictures from Matt and Stacie. They're going to be on the Bend page as well, right?
Yes.
On the website?
Head to the website, thebendshow.com, for pictures, as well as to book yourself a hunt with Gator Glades Hunts out of Moorhaven, Florida. Thank you, Matt, for being on the show and sharing your story. And again, congratulations to both you and Branson on tagging some amazing alligators.
Matt's was 10.8 feet, by the way, and Branson's 8.3 feet. Awesome.
Not a bad day, if you ask me. On that note, let's take a short break. We got more of The Ben Show right after this.